Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and it's almost that special time of year. And no, I'm not talking about Christmas, we're talking about TennoCon 2022, Ed. And with TennoCon, Baro the Void Trader will bring his entire inventory if you got a special relay key that gets you access to the TennoCon relay. And if you don't know what that's all about, well, link the cards right now. But let's get back to the nitty gritty. With Baro having his entire inventory, you need a priority. You need to know what is good, what is not, what you should get, and what you should skip. So tada! Very easy to understand. Prio 1, Prio 2, and Prio 3. Now we're going to be talking about the important bits, the bits that give you power. We're not talking about cosmetics here. Cosmetics are subjective and entirely up to you. What we got here is the mods, the weapons, the power things, and all whatnot. Let's start out with Prio 1. We got Voltaic, Strike, and Jolt for mods. These two are not farmable from the game by any way, shape, or form. You gotta buy them from Baros, so make sure you pick them up, just like Prime Chamber. Now, Prime Chamber is not as useful as Voltaic, Strike, and Jolt, which you will be using on a whole lot of builds. As for Prime Chamber, you're only really gonna be using this one on the Victus or the Victus Prime. But if you wanna see what Prime Chamber is actually capable of and what's all the hubbub about, link the cards right now. Moving on to the Prime mods. These are the Nagas, my friends. This is what you want to get. Prime Charge Shell, Prime Continuity, Prime Cryorons, Prime Flow, Heated Charge, Pistol Gambit, Target Cracker, Point Blank, Ravage, Fever Strike, Pressure Point, Chilling Grasp, and Prime Reach. Unfortunately for 2022, not a single new one in this category. What you see with red is not some kind of super prio, it's just simply what was new and worth adding from 2021 to 2022. So an entire year, just these four. Moving on to weapons, the Ignis Rave. Now this one is with a bit of an asterisk, simply because honestly it's not really worth spending that many ducats from Baro. All platforms now can simply get the Ignis Rave by trading or by doing stuff in the game, so you can cut corners and get it from Baro if you have a whole lot of ducats. If not, simply ask for a blueprint. Some Tenno offer it to you for free and others charge you plat. And there you go. The Glaxion Vandal, fantastic. This is essentially kind of the antithesis of the Ignis Rave. This is the Flamethrower and this is the Freeze Ray. So it's absolutely fantastic to get both. Prisma Gorgon, still my favorite, my absolute favorite assault rifle in the game. I love this one. But when it comes to power, it's true, the Ignis Rave definitely dwarfs it. This is still one of the best primary weapons in the game. And if you want to see a full and detailed guide on what this puppy is capable of with galvanized mods and everything, look at the cards right now. Prisma Twin Gremlins. I'll be honest with you, this is not a super powerful secondary weapon or anything of the sort. It's not even AoE, bro, in 2022, what the hell? But it is my second favorite secondary weapon in the game, and I still highly recommend it. As for the Quanta Vandal, this is simply a more spacey, futuristic weapon. It still packs one hell of a punch. It's a beam weapon, it fires these little cubes, and it's got really cool interactions and all whatnot. You can shoot the cubes and then they explode and then they can chain together. It's awesome, and again, you should try this one out if you're bored of the same old assault rifle routine. The Vastilok. The Vastilok is an insane gunblade. When this one first came out, it wasn't really all that powerful, but then it got fixed, so it's definitely worth picking up from Baro Key Tier. Prisma Grinlock is a lever action rifle. It's the best lever action rifle, but again, in today's AoE meta, that's simply not saying all that much. Prisma Dual Cleavers, everybody loves them because, you know, you cha-cha, you chop up your targets and you can pretend you're like a mad chef, like Stitches from the... never mind. Machete Rave, the best machete, which is better than the Prisma Machete. So, Machete Rave, yay. It also has this incredible TennoGen skin. You guys will love it. And the Opticor Vandal. Now, the Opticor Vandal, I think, can still be obtained from Fermia Fractures, but let's say, hey man, I can't be arsed to do that event, you can simply pick it up from Baro. Axie V8 and Neo 01, now these will bring you Volt Prime and the Aclex Prime blueprint. If you don't have Volt Prime by now, what are you doing? He's like the top guy when it comes to Eidolon hunting, if anybody still cares about such things. Let's go into Prio 2, High Voltage and Shell Shock. Basically, these two are friends with Voltage, Strike, and Jolt, but High Voltage and Shell Shock can be farmed from the game. The mission now, Elgar, Planet Eris, find all the free secret caches. Then upon extraction, you got a 5% chance at either. I got several runs, I think I'm over 100 runs, and I only seen one of these mods drop once. So I would pick them up from Baro if I was you. Split Flights, oh my god, what an amazing mod. This is absolutely sensational. The problem is, the developer does not allow us to equip Split Flights on explosive bows such as the Brahma. That doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up Split Flights, because it does add a whole lot of power on the right weapon. And if you want to see what it's capable of, link in the cards right now. Mark of the Beast, and Combo Fury. Now these are a bit situational. What the developer is doing is pushing us to use our entire arsenal. Their new way of dealing damage is use everything. Use your secondary to prime, your primary to, I don't know, deal damage, and your melee and all whatnot, and these kind of work into that mentality. They're not really all that great in my honest opinion. Now we get to the Prime mods. Prime Animal Instinct, Fast Hands, Heavy Trauma, Pack Leader, Slip Magazine, Regen, Quick Draw, Rubedo, Line, Battle, Firestorm, Fulmination, Tactical Pump, Magazine Warp, and Ammo Stock. Please note, Magazine Warp and Ammo Stock are new for this edition. What can I say? When it comes to stuff like Prime Heavy Trauma, this is impact damage, and impact damage is not as bad as it used to be, and it's still useful when it comes to certain stat stick weapons, if you're into such a thing, but honestly it's not a prio one. As for Prime Animal Instinct, you can simply live with a normal version, but I would definitely get this one if you can get your hands on it. As for Fast Hands, it's self-explanatory for the most part. Prime Regen is still awesome in combination with Sacrifice. You get the reses. Nowadays you also have Immortal Sentinels and Immortal Companions, stuff like as the Panzerwupperpfeiler, yes, which helps a lot because of the vital procs, and you also got the Djinn, so Regen kind of lost some points. As for Prime Firestorm and Fulmination, I'm really tempted to put these into Prio 1 because on certain weapons, these are absolutely insane, man. Did you guys see what the Ogress can do with Prime? I don't know, which was the primary version? Firestorm? Firestorm, that's it, that's the primary version. With Prime Firestorm, it's absolutely insane. I got a full and detailed build guide for you guys in the cards right now. Now, Prova Vandal, Prisma Grakata, Prisma Duel, Decurions, Prisma Obex, Volcar Wraith, Mara Detron, Prisma Scana, Prisma Machete, Halicar Wraith, and the Supra Wunderbar. As for the Prova Vandal, it's not the most powerful melee weapon in the game. The thing about this one is that normally Baro doesn't really bring it all that often, and if, in case you need the mastery points, you might want to stag it up. Ah, the Grakata. I love the Grakata because of Clem, but honestly, in this meta, it's simply not doing all that well. As for the Prisma Duel Decurions, these are fantastic weapons. The problem is they're heavy weapons, arc wing weapons and all whatnot, and still a whole lot of players simply don't care about this one, which is why Prime Rubedo Line Battle is in Prio 2 instead of Prio 1. As for the Volcar Wraith, this is my favorite sniper, which is not mainstream Eidolon hunty. Don't get me wrong, you can hunt Eidolon with a toothpick nowadays, but if you're going after Eidolons, the Volcar Wraith is not exactly the best sniper you can choose. Mara Detron, you get the Tenant Detron, which is flat out better. And the Mara Detron for a really long time was one of the best secondaries in the game. Nowadays, simply, I'm even tempted to move it into Pride. Nah, that's Mastery Fodder. Never mind. Prisma Scana! It's a great Scana! Scanas are not worthless anymore. Remember when Scanas were worthless and then they made meaty meta and now Scanas are not worthless? Yeah, it's not worthless. Prisma Machete, as stated before, not as good as the Machete Wraith. Halicar Wraith. It's a throne, it's a Halicar Wraith. As for the Supra Vandal, honestly, it really pains me to put it into Prio 2 because for such a long time this is one of the best primaries and most fun because essentially it fills your screen with these plasma balls, these marshmallows of sort, and this is truly a great weapon. In case you guys haven't seen the full guide on it, 2022 ed, again, you got a chance to link in the cards right now. If I still have links, because I can put only 5. Axie A2, Axie A5, and Prisma Shade. What can I say about the Shade? It's the best Shade, the Prisma one, and that's pretty much it. I didn't see a whole lot of people running the Shade. There's not super, ultra, mega awesome combos with the Shade. It's just something cool to have. And keep in mind that getting yourself that Prisma Shade, that Sentinel, will yield a whole lot of mastery points. Axie A2 and Axie A5, we're talking about the Aklex Prime and the Akvasto Prime. Two fantastic weapons once upon a time, but in today's AoE filled meta, most players simply ignore these weapons, and there's nothing wrong with the weapons per se. There's a lot of weapons, a lot of fantastic weapons, which are basically in the same situation. They are great, they deal damage, but they're not AoE. It's a problem with the meta, not the weapons. Tempo Royale. Now this one can be farmed from the game, but honestly the farm is really painful. There's this like white burst that you gotta farm, and honestly nowadays people don't even care about the stance all that much. You just press E and you win. So you can get it if you want to, if not you can farm it. You can live without it, trust me. Combo Killer? Definitely has its uses, but there's a reason why it's in Prio 3. We got Prime, Bane, Expel, Cleanse, and Smite. All of them, okay? So all of them. Let me be perfectly clear. These 4 categories can add a whole lot of damage, definitely, because the Bane mods are a separate multiplier, and that can result in huge damage. The reason why they're in Prio Free is because of the huge usability issues. There's a lot of them you need to get. You gotta max them all out. They cost a lot of credits, a lot of endo, and you gotta keep swapping them in and out from mission to mission, and that's why they're in Prio Free, because of usability. But let me make myself clear, if all you care about is damage, you should get the Bane, Expel, Cleanse, and Smite mods as well. Prime ammo mutation, all of them. Honestly, I never really felt the need for a prime ammo mutation ever, but if you have, there you go. Prime sniper ammo mutation should be included in here as well. The reason why I left it separate is just to showcase that it's new for this edition. Yes, you can give it a solid Prio Free. As for Prime Morphic Transformer, you know what? This is ability strength for your Arcwing, which is fantastic, but again, a whole lot of players simply don't enjoy using Arcwing still, so that's why it's a Prio Free. The Zylock, when it came out, it was beautiful and it was garbage. Honestly, you could barely kill anything with this one. Times have changed, however, so the Zylock should really be more of a Prio 2. Because of the change in meta, because of the change in elements, the Zylock isn't that horrible anymore, and you can move it to Prio 2. It's nowhere near a Prio 1. This is me being nice to it just because it's pretty. Like the hot blonde effect, you guys know what I mean. Prisma Tetra, it's got a fantastic augment, but now you got a Tenon Tetra, which is like, I don't know, a million times better, so forget about it, just for mastery points. Just like the Prisma Angstrom, Prisma Veritux, which is Arcwing Melee. Anybody? Arcwing Melee? No? Yeah? And the Viper Wraith. You know what? I love the Viper Wraith. I like the twin Viper Wraiths. The Viper Wraith has a cool augment, but not even that one can save it from being what it is, and that is mastery fodder. As for the beacons, my friends, the beacons are only here if you're impatient. Right? If you really need to get something right now, you should buy the beacons. For example, let's say I really want that cool smoky ephemera from the Stalker, you should go for the Stalker beacon. If not, skip. Trust me, if you keep playing Warframe, you're gonna get to see everything drop a trillion times. You'll be bored of it. Oh, by the way, it would be nice to have a new Stalker or a nice Zanuka, which is new, like Tenon Zanuka. That would be fantastic. And I do believe, my friends, that is pretty much it. You should have all the information you need. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you got any feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. And if the content is useful to you and you want to help me keep making it, consider supporting us via Patreon. Link in the cards right now. But until next time, my friends, bye-bye.